I'm Monique Shippen, Miss International Australia 2019 National Finalist, and this is my interview with the Pageant Project.
Hey everyone, it's Agent from the Pageant Project, and I'm here with Miss International Australia 2019 National Finalist, Monique Shippen. Monique, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I will let Monique describe where we're at, because as you can tell from this, it's super shiny. Monique, tell everyone where we're at.
We're actually on the top of Shelley Beach, which extends from Manly. You can do this really beautiful coastal walk that comes around to Shelley Beach, and if you climb up a few stairs, you actually get to this point. And you can actually see Manly from the top here, from the lookout.
It's a really nice view in the background. And it's brushed turkeys.
And
there's like 1,000 brushed turkeys around us. Okay, Monique, why don't you start by telling us, I guess, what got you into pageantry to begin with, and how long ago it was? Because you just told me you had like a 7-year between entering the same pageant, I'm assuming it's going back a fair while.
Yeah, so when I was young, my mum put me in modelling, like when I was 5 or 6 years old. But I used to be really shy, so she used to watch pageants on TV, and I used to watch them with her, like things like Miss Universe and World, and I used to like look up to those women and think, wow, they look so beautiful and they're smart and they're confident, and I just wanted like that confidence in myself. So my mum thought it would be good when I turned 18, because I didn't know they actually had like the teen pageants back then.
Right.
So when I was 18, I joined my first like community pageant. And,
do you remember the title of it?
It was called Miss Wow Blacktown.
Miss
I'm not
Wow.
even from that area. Miss Wow.
Miss Wow.
People would joke because it's like WOW, it'd be World of Warcraft.
I was going to say, that's funny.
But so I joined that just for friends, for experience really, and then I won that pageant, and I and I was like, oh, okay, like, and I just loved pageantry since then. I joined Miss Earth, like you said, in 2011. And same situation. I just wanted to make new friends, make a difference, but I still didn't have that like massive confidence in myself. And I made it to top 10, but then so I was really proud making it to top 10.
Absolutely.
But then because I was studying my degree, I took some time off, and then when I finished my degree, I thought when I was teaching in preschool, I noticed that I had this passion for the environment, and it was a really good opportunity because kids love being outside. And we're in Australia, we're lucky, like all year you can go out in the garden and the playground. So we used to compost and plant veggies in the garden, and kids would love like seeing them grow. Like, oh, miss, like it's this tall now.
Teenagers not so much, but kids, yes.
Yeah, and then we'd sometimes we'd make pizzas like with our vegetables from the garden. Which was like the ones that weren't eaten by worms and stuff. I don't think we had the proper, pesticides happening there, but it was fun, and that's what made me rejoin Miss Earth, because I thought, I've got that passion for the environment, why not put it into action and do more with it with the community.
And that was back last year, back in 2018.
Yeah.
That's when you won, so you did a little bit better than top 10.
Yeah, I did. So I was really proud just seeing how far I'd come from when I joined the previous time.
When you say that you didn't feel so confident, so how confident do you feel now? And I imagine you're more confident now than you felt before. Did it kind of build steadily over the years, or was there one particular moment when you actually realized, no, hang on, I'm a lot more confident now than I was before? Yeah,
so throughout my childhood I was really like super shy, like would hide behind people, freeze in class. They'd have to ring my mum and say, she's just mute, like she's not going to talk. One of my teachers actually cried because she didn't know what to do with me.
You made a teacher cry?
I wouldn't respond, but she was the loveliest lady, and she was actually the lady that got me on stage for singing. She encouraged me. She said that I had a nice voice, even though I sang like a mouse. And then since then, that was the moment when I was doing performances. I used to shake and stuff, but over those 2 years of performing, I noticed I wasn't shaking as much, and I felt like my voice got louder and louder. You couldn't tell now because I like talk too much and I speak so loud. But
it is a little bit hard to imagine.
Over time, I actually became louder, and then I think after I was 15 and I'd done 5 years of like Eisteddfods and performances, I noticed that I was not just confident on stage and with teachers, but just confident in general and like comfortable with myself. Yeah.
Tell us how with music, I mean, I guess it might be a bit difficult to understand for someone who hasn't done a lot of music.
Yeah.
But give us an idea as to sort of your music background and your music journey, because you're still performing very regularly now, and you're putting your performances on social media. I have no problem speaking in public, but singing in public, it's not something that I'm going to inflict on anybody. So how did that help you find your voice?
Oh, that was a major thing that helped me. So I actually loved singing when I was little, but just to myself and along with songs, because my dad would play music every night, and I liked singing along to the songs. But my teacher, back to that time when I used to freeze and stuff, she said that I should join drama and singing. So I was in drama when I was 3 or 4.
Right.
Dancing when I was 4, but dancing's different because it was in a group and I was okay to be right at the back and just
no one can see you.
Can see you.
Yeah.
But when I was 8, I started singing, and I also did keyboard lessons. And Delta Goodrum actually was like her key career time, and she played and sang at the same time. So that I felt like that was something like my next challenge that I wanted to do was play and sing. And my teacher was just so encouraging. Even I used to freeze with her at the beginning. She used to mentor me like in the holidays, and because I had this trust in her and she believed in me. So that kind of like I found that in me, and then we worked together to get me on stage, and I got to play and sing at my Year 6 Talent Quest in front of I didn't have any friends in primary school. I had like 2 or 3 friends.
Do you remember what song you performed?
Predictable by Delta Goodrum.
I remember that.
And because in primary school, like dancing in the talent quest is like the thing to do, like with your big group of friends.
Yeah.
But because I didn't have that, and I wasn't really much of a dancer,
neither is Delta Goodrum, by the way.
So scared. And I remember when I was playing, my mum said she'd be there, but then she wasn't there, like she didn't get to nip out of work in time, so the teacher was like, she's not here yet. But then she finally came, and I remember playing it, and then I won the talent quest. I was like, what? Like, I remember they announced like Monique Shippen, and I was just sitting there like, someone's like, it's you, go. And I was like, what? Yeah.
So how did that feel, winning? I mean, back in Year 6, I mean, when you win something like
when
that.
I wasn't that popular, that was a life-changing moment. I actually realised then that I want to continue music. Like, I knew I enjoyed it, but then I really thought this could even be like a career for me. And I actually started songwriting when I was 14. I did a course with Erin Clark from Australian Idol and X Factor. And songwriting is like a complete different like art altogether. So I found that helps me like express my emotions. And I started writing songs, and now I actually have an album that I released when I was 18.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Where give people can they buy it, or
they can? It's on Spotify and it's on iTunes. But I'm trying to record like new stuff now because it's been a while since that album.
What was the name of the first album?
It's called Headache.
Okay. All right. I hope that's not indicative of what's on the actual album itself. Gives you a headache.
No.
And that was all original songs written by you?
Yes. So all 10 songs were music and lyrics by me. Because previously I did a 5-track like EP with co-written with the songwriting teacher, because like obviously, some people can, but obviously can't become like a competent songwriter straight away. And
but as you said, there are different skills. Some people can perform, some people can write, some people are lucky enough to do both, but they are very different.
Just write for performers.
Yeah.
Which is really good. So I really love songwriting in my spare time. Helps me express my emotions, and I love being able to share like that story and emotion with other people listening to the music. That's really what made me like keep going.
Right.
We had a songwriting showcase, and like the comments from the people saying, I went through that situation and your song like really just encapsulated that made me feel like so happy that I could share that like almost memory with that person even though I didn't know them. So that's something special about songwriting.
because songs do sometimes, you were talking about this when you were logging the chair over, it does sometimes cut through to people a little bit more than someone just giving a speech about something. It sort of slips under the subconscious. But put it all together, so that's the music background.
Yeah.
And then obviously we'll talk about the pageantry, but you're also teaching.
Yeah.
So on a regular basis, what does your life look like?
Well, when I was preschool teaching, it was 4 days a week. So I still had nights. So I have a regular performance at Restaurant 317 in Parramatta. So I perform there every fortnight on a Tuesday or Friday night for 3 hours or 4 hours in a row. So I balance that in, but I'm also a kids party entertainer on the weekends. So usually I do maybe 2 parties because they're about an hour and a half, 2 hours each.
Right.
But now that I've started practicing in a high school, it's a lot more intense. There's a lot of preparation and stuff like that. So I've been making the gigs a bit more once a month, and I'm only doing 1 party a week now because I need to have a day off.
I was going to say.
I can't just teach and then be a party entertainer and then teach again.
Well, you can't be a party entertainer for little kids when you're tired. I mean, that's the other thing. They'll be so bored.
Exactly. And I also go to the gym, usually really early in the morning or late at night, just fitting around the teaching.
Yeah.
That's usually my life in a nutshell.
So a pretty full-on schedule.
Yeah.
As is the one for most pageant competitors.
Oh, it would be, yeah.
So coming on to Miss International Australia, which is in 6 days, as you said. Maybe 4 or 5 days by the time I release this. But in less than a week, why did you want to compete in Miss International Australia? Because as we said, you won Miss Earth. And that is one of the biggest pageants in the world. So a lot of people think, oh, you won that, done.
Yeah.
So what made you motivated enough to put yourself through it again? Because it's not an easy thing.
It's not easy, no.
So why go into it again?
Yeah. So a lot of people would say to me, you've won a title, why would you join another one?
Exactly.
But to me it was actually, and even I thought at the time, if I win this, I can just focus on that. I've won a pageant, but to me, it made me want to join another one even more, because when I went overseas with all the girls from other countries, I got this huge cultural experience. I got to learn about all these girls from other countries, their projects, and also that side of all their different strategies of helping the earth. And having all those minds together in one place, I just saw the power of that and really making a difference together. And now I have friends all over the world that we constantly support each other, no matter what pageant they're joining next, or if they're doing a clean-up or something, we'll support each other, check in with each other. And that's something you can keep for life. So it made me want to, in my reign as Miss Earth, I did community cleanups. I think I did a challenge where I did 3 months, and every weekend I was at a cleanup. And
that's a lot of
January, February, March. Every weekend I was at a cleanup all over Sydney, so Bondi, Manly, Mossman, wherever, and meeting all those new people every time who have that same passion as you, that is amazing, and I just want to continue growing. While I'm on a roll, I wanted to join Miss International so I can continue helping the community and being a role model. But another thing specific to Miss International is the ovarian cancer awareness. So
I've seen a lot of #Teal the Beat.
Yeah, Teal the Beat, because through my singing, I've done a lot of charity performances and been involved with other cancers, like breast cancer and skin cancer. And my grandma actually had breast cancer, so I've really want to help out with the ovarian cancer awareness. And Teal the Beat, and it's such a simple campaign, but it really is really powerful, because it's just 4 symptoms and just making everyone aware that.
Can I put you on the spot a little bit? What are the 4 symptoms?
Yeah, so beat. So B is bloating.
Okay.
But it's more because I know some of these symptoms, people feel this in evereveryday life. So it's more you keep a diary and see if it's recurring over a
severity
couple
and
weeks,
consistency, I suppose.
That. So B is bloating. E is eating small amounts and feeling full.
Okay.
And A is abdominal pain.
Okay.
And T is trouble with urinary frequency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got it.
So those are the 4. So I actually have been, I made a little flyer and I've been handing them out around Sydney, and I've bought these little Teal chocolates. I have them with me, actually.
Oh, amazing.
And I actually did some this morning. But something simple like that, it didn't even if it's just 15 minutes, just going around and speaking to people. A lot of people don't know that there's no pre-screening test for ovarian cancer.
I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, so I think like
it's not one of the bigger, more well-targeted
like
ones.
Breast,
obviously,
screenings,
is huge.
And like Pap smears, like and there's cervical cancer, but for ovarian cancer, there's not, and that's why a lot of people are dying from it because they don't recognise it until stage 4 and it's too late. So just by letting people know those symptoms can really like help save someone in the earlier stages. So I think it's a really great campaign.
Yeah. I love the acronym, makes it easy to remember.
It does.
So, I mean, you're obviously someone who loves to help others.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say. Have you always been that way, or did that start at a certain point in your life? Like, why do you love going out and doing, as you said, a cleanup every weekend for 3 months? Where did that come from?
I think it's also like the inner teacher in me. Ever since I was young, though, I've always just loved helping others, and my mother always loves putting like others before herself. She's always helping someone, like everyone in the family. And I come from my mum is Filipino, so we have a lot of family, and she's always helping. So I always would try and help people. But for me, it's like a rewarding feeling. Even though you have to get up sometimes at 6 a.m. to do a beach cleanup on a Sunday morning, when it's like your only day to sleep in, I go, and it's really nice because my parents come with me, and they love it too. They even said to me, it's nice just coming and getting together with a group of people who also want to help out, and knowing that you're just helping out, like you're making a difference, and you're getting together with all these beautiful people, and then we just have coffee afterwards, and it's a nice chat, and you just know it's mostly just the feeling of being able to help people.
Have you ever struggled with, I mean, a lot of people who want to help, they struggle with helping too much. Burnout, and as you said, with your mum putting everyone else first, have you ever struggled with sort of setting your own boundaries, as in like, I can't do that now, I need to do something for myself?
Yeah, that is difficult, because sometimes I take on more than I can chew. Like I'll say, I can help you and you and you. And then I'm thinking, like, it's also important to have time for yourself, like some downtime to meditate and stuff like that. So now I've kind of just looked at it, and instead of maybe helping them like to the full extent, like actually going out there, I might just give them advice or say like, I can't help right now, but maybe another time I can help them. So I definitely don't want to burn out.
I mean, you can't spread yourself too thin.
No.
Given that you said your mum is Filipino, I think you might actually be the first competitor that I've interviewed that has any Filipino blood.
Oh, really?
So
they love pageant.
That's what my question is going to be. Explain, please. Because
why they like pageants?
I went to have my hair cut by someone who was Filipino. I told her about pageantry. She would not shut up for half an hour.
About
I could not.
Pageant?
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, she knows more about it than I do. What is the Filipino fascination with pageantry? What is that about?
Look, I don't know. I've always known, like since I was little, as I told you, my mum would show me these pageants. I think it's just really nice that they see like this, like women as really strong people who are intelligent, because I've watched a lot of Filipino pageants, and they are all so intelligent and so well prepared and just really nice people, and it's crazy to see the level. Like they have boot camps for pageants, and they train for like years and years leading up to pageants, and it's not like it's a really serious thing. And I think it's just displaying, like, it's amazing how they show like a woman's beauty. Like not only are they beautiful, and they have amazing designers. You probably know that.
I was at Miss World New South Wales, and Rocky Gathercole was there.
The designers are amazing. So showcasing that, and because their culture is very like everyone working together like a family, they've got the designer and the hairstylist and the choreographer for catwalk, like all on board, and it's almost like this family behind you, like supporting you. And I think just seeing like this beautiful woman, strong woman blossom and show herself on the stage, I think that's something like to be proud of, like
absolutely
to show off. So I think that's probably the fascination, just from my interpretation.
I just know
as
that
a half Filipino.
They go, as you said, they seem to take it, I don't know if seriously is the right word, this probably is, but it's more like professionally.
Professionally. Like it's a huge like team effort over months.
I've also never really been around a Filipino person who was quiet.
No.
It's always very talky, chatty, very friendly.
Yeah. They can talk all night, like literally.
I've noticed. With coming back to Miss International Australia, is there any part that you're most looking forward to in the whole competition?
Yes, so I'm really excited to meet everyone because I love just hearing other people's ideas. Like everyone's so different and has different things to offer. So I love to hear what everyone's been doing, especially for the kindness in action.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just that feeling of all being together for the same cause would be great. And I'm excited just to have that final night where we're all celebrating how beautiful we all are and how intelligent and nice we are on the night, and doing it for a good cause, like for ovarian cancer, which is good.
If you were to look back at your pageant career, let's say when it's over, whether it's 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what would you like to have stood for? And so when someone says, oh, do you know Monique Shippen? And they say, oh yeah, I know Monique. Monique is. What would you like to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered as like a role model, especially for children and the younger people. As a teacher, I want to be that person who educated children about not only the environment but other like world issues. And I want to be that approachable person that was always remembered as always being there to help someone. And just literally, I'm so approachable. You can like ask me anything. People say I'm a really good listener, so that I guess that's good too. And just someone who's always willing to be there for different causes.
All right. Social details for people who want to follow your journey, and you can go straight to this camera for that one. So people who want to follow your journey, give them the details and I'll subtitle it below. Yep,
so on Instagram, it's MoniqueCharlotte_. And on Facebook, it is Monique Shippen, Miss International Australia 2019 Finalist. Or you can go to my private page, which is monique.charlotte.
Perfect. Monique.
Because Monique Charlotte was taken. Who would even think? Like, come on.
There are no names available.
How? It's just Monique is what like some friends used to call me when I was younger.
I had to use my name backwards because my name was taken.
But you think it's not that of a common name. You don't think
no.
Taken.
Apparently, although it's so funny, I did mean to tell you this.
Crazy.
The very first girl that I interviewed 4 years ago, and she was in pageant, her name was Monique Shipp.
Oh yeah, I know her.
Oh, you do?
I don't know her personally, but
right.
I used to work as a fashion stylist at like a boutique, and she came in, and I saw her name on the form, and I was thinking, wait, is my name somehow like just been on the form, or do I know her? And then
it's so
she said
weird.
Her name was Monique, and she was doing a pageant.
Yeah.
She was shopping for a dress for the pageant, and I was like,
you having like an out-of-body experience.
And she lives, I think, in this area.
She's Northern Beaches.
And I was like, well, this is too scary.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's freaky.
I just want to tell you that. So because when I said the first person I interviewed was Monique Shipp, people were going, oh, Monique Shippen. And I'm like, no, Monique Shippen. So then I found out about you. It's like, it's so weird. So it's not.
It's not a common name.
Well, it must be if someone has basically the same one, just missing an EN. But she's doing amazing stuff now. Anyway, final 10 questions. It's like pageant Q&A.
Cool.
It has to be a soul-defined too. Okay, question 1. What is your favorite word?
Love.
Question 2. What is your least favorite word?
Probably something too rude to say on camera. That I hear at schools, but that's fine. Least favorite. Terror.
Makes sense. Okay, question 3. In life, what gets you excited? What turns you on?
Music, like being able to sing on stage, that makes me really excited.
On that note, what's your favorite song to perform?
Raw by Katy Perry. Because I have to do it for kids' parties too, and for my own. So I can actually play on the guitar and sing it, but I can also get up there and like really shout and do like the raw costume, and the kids like raw with you, and you get the kids to do the claws, and it's really exciting. And they're like, whoa, together. It's awesome.
Which one do you prefer, the simpler pared back acoustic, or being able to belt it out, yell it out with lots of drums and percussion?
Depends on my mood. So like on a Tuesday night, you don't really want to be like, oh, I don't have the energy. But no, they're beautiful in their own ways, but probably with that sense of audience, like getting up and singing with you, that's probably the best.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, question 3 was what turns you on. So question 4 is what turns you off.
Really like rude people that just think they know everything. I don't know, just don't care for anyone.
Yeah.
Like, push in lines and
I get that.
that's annoying.
Absolutely. Okay, so question 5. What sound or noise do you love?
The ocean, because I live near the ocean. I think it's really relaxing.
It is, yeah.
Sometimes I just go like to the ocean, close my eyes, and it's just nice hearing like nature,
Yeah.
waves.
Which we can hear right now. You
Which
can
we
hear the
can hear
ocean,
right now.
birds. You
But
can hear...
if you ask me that, like I know there's only one answer, but if I was at school, like children's laughter is really, I like
Yeah.
that too.
Okay.
Means that
You can have two answers. Question 6. What sound or noise... Hello, birds. What sound or
hate.
noise do you hate?
Forks scratching
On the China...
on the plate. My dad does it.
On purpose?
Sometimes. No, just when he's not thinking properly. And I'm like, no, I hate that.
Everyone has said nails on
like
chalkboard.
scratching. Yeah, that
but my
too.
issue with that is, and you would know because you're
There's
teaching.
no chalkboards
That's what I'm
anymore.
saying.
That was
People
like primary
just
school.
give that answer. I'm like, you're not old enough to have ever
They
heard
don't
that.
even use whiteboards anymore. It's all the smartboard.
I think, yeah.
And the laptops.
When I was in school, it was
Yeah,
whiteboards.
don't-
Smart boards were coming in.
Yeah, me too.
Now
but
these
now
boards
I'm
are just, like,
teaching and I'm
crazy.
like, I need to learn how to do this smartboard.
So, but all right, cutlery on the plate. Okay. Question 7. If you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
I would want to fly because I think it would be cool getting to different places like in a really fast time. But also I love to have that bird's eye view and just look at the nature around me and appreciate, like you don't have to get into a plane or helicopter, you can actually see the world from another perspective. That would be really cool. But also just to get to different places and because this is going to sound weird, I have a fear of heights. But I think being able to fly would be good because it means, I think it's more a fear of falling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So you wouldn't
There you go.
have to fall if you could fly. Okay.
Because when I'm on planes, I'm like, if I could fly, it wouldn't be an issue if we crashed because I could be like,
That makes sense. Okay. Question 8. What job or occupation other than your own would you most like to attempt?
fashion designer. Because I almost wanted to do that. When I was in year 11, I did design and I designed a dress out of recyclable materials. And I'd love to do that, like start a line of recyclable material, like bracelets, dresses. And my brother's actually a designer.
Oh, wow, okay.
So when I see him design, I'm like, I wish I could. If in another life, I would totally do that.
Well, it sounds like you've got the contacts. I mean, you're obviously in the right industry to do it.
I'm too busy already.
Fair enough. And that's really big at the moment as well. Like ethically sourced and ethically created fashion is a huge deal at the moment, an important one.
And also just like waste. You could turn that waste into recyclable fashion.
Well, they have eco fashion nights at some
I
pageants
love
now,
those.
which are fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Another noise. Question 9. What job or occupation other than your own would you definitely not like to attempt?
I wouldn't want to be like a surgeon because I don't think I'd be able to do, like, I have so much respect for them, but I think it would be too much pressure for me, especially to know that like someone's life could be on the line, and I don't know if I could, and I don't really like blood and gore and stuff, so I don't think I could do that.
It's actually nice to hear someone say they don't like blood and gore because last few interviews, they've all had a fascination with serial killers and blood and gore.
Oh no, I hate that.
And I'm like, what's going on here? Okay, final question.
Yeah.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
That I'm a really nice person and well done for being so nice to everybody. No, that I have lived my life to the fullest and I've taken every opportunity that I could have taken, and I'm happy with the road that I went down, with the choices that I've made and where I am at that point. That's what I do.
I'm going to thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to thank everyone for watching, and we'll speak to you next time. Hey, it's Adrian. Thanks so much for listening to our podcast. Make sure to subscribe to get details of our new episodes as they drop, and connect with us on social at The Pageant Project. Speak to you next.